yeah. The boys are coming back, I think. I'm scared. Right, that was cool. Let's try and put these back now. How you doing? How's it going? How's your day been? I don't know which mic I'm supposed to be talking into and how close I'm supposed to be talking into anything. But, oh, they're back. I've just started my own podcast.
What is
Gentlemen.
Titus, precious?
You don't know what that is.
You've started your own podcast?
Yes, I started my own podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. It's called Gen Talk.
I mean, you...
Gen
Goyim. I mean, you have a vlog. That's kind of like a podcast.
I mean, yeah, essentially. I talk to myself every day.
You talk to a camera. It's not quite the same, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm like alone in a room, like, hey, so guess what? It's actually really weird. Like when I first started vlogging,
Among Us.
I did it in a way where it felt like I was talking to myself, and I was like, this is so stupid. I don't get how people do it. But like now, you actually do like adapt that thing of like someone is going to be watching this eventually.
Yeah.
So you just pretend you're talking to someone, and it's actually like easy to flick.
Yeah, I mean, recording this was real weird at first.
Yeah.
Like.
No, our first episode, I was
jump right
so
into it.
Really. I mean, I'd had my YouTube channel for like what 2.5 years at that point, I think. And even so, the very first, because I don't use mics or anything like that.
I feel like I need socks on. I feel like
Yeah, no, don't put
Did
your
I
feet
not
out there.
say put socks on in the beginning?
I mean, if we've
I
already
might have thought it.
if we've already started, your feet are out there.
Yeah. Hey.
I mean,
don't give that away for free. People pay good money for those feet.
I mean, is
It's
this
not me.
is this going in the episode or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you guys get to see my lovely little intro too.
Okay. I mean, I'm already like.
Kind of. And do like an intro. I didn't do like an intro, but I did like a me intro.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Is that your bones?
So it was either your joints clicking or your pants seam going. So
It's not my pants ripping. I prefer my bones clicking.
either
than
way, it
pants
was
ripping.
concerning.
I've already had my pants rip once
With
before.
the
It's not
sound
fun.
of that crack, I'd rather it be my pants than my bones because that sounded like deep.
Oh,
Nah, my body clicks a lot, I must admit.
Yeah.
It's slightly
Same.
concerning.
Like,
yeah, you have no idea.
I'm that person. Like, it's actually funny. I'll be recording my vlogs or whatever, and I'll be talking, and I'll just sitting there like doing all this, and then only afterwards I was like, wow, if anyone hates like knuckle clicking or whatever, there's just like a solid like 20 to 30 seconds of me just cracking every bone in my finger.
Yeah, well, my partner does marching, and every now and then we'll be in bed and she'll move and like her knee or her ankle will click,
no.
and it's so loud.
Yeah. Wait, I want to know if you
Yeah.
can hear my back. Hold on. Silence.
Oh god. Oh
Wait.
Jesus.
Wait, hold on. Wait, just give me your mic. Just put your mic next to my back.
Oh, did you get a waveform on that?
Wait,
you
no,
got you.
no, I'm on this one.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh, you on that one?
Wait, ready? Ready?
Sure.
Oh, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, there is a limit to how much should click.
You have issues.
Yeah.
Like, I
Hey,
can do my ankles, sort of.
I'm
but-
not as bad as my
Yeah.
brother. He clicks his elbows. That's bad. Like, that's bad for you.
What?
What was that? Was it your
That
thumb?
was my thumb. Yeah.
Oh, ew, no. See, I can't click that part of my thumb. I click that joint, but I can't click there. There, it just sounds painful because that's like down there.
Yeah. No, I can get like maybe one or two knuckles, like if I do that, but like I can't do the whole hand.
I wish I could
Sometimes
just
I
do
can.
that. I can't. I can click my knuckles that way, but I have to do them individually. I can't just.
I can't do it that way. I can
Yeah.
only do it that way, yeah.
Welcome to our new ASMR podcast.
ASMR.
Bodily noises.
Dude, speaking of ASMR, I did one ASMR video and it was a makeup tutorial, so nothing weird. And I got so many weird requests after that. Like, could you tear paper and like just rip it up and like write stuff on it and then like rip it? And can you like light matches and then put them out in water? I reckon with your voiceover, that'd be so sexy. And I was like,
That's a bit weird, yeah.
it was
but-
like, bruh.
I don't know what you expect.
Ooh.
And my ASMR tutorial, like, it wasn't like a traditional like, hi, welcome to like. It was the whispering or whatever, but like it was pretty like shit tick. So I was laughing through. I hate ASMR. Like I don't get the whole tingling, whatever. Like, to me, it just
Yeah.
sounds creepy. It sounds like when your friend comes up to you and is like, hey, and you're like, ugh. Like, that's what I get from ASMR, but so many people had asked me to do an ASMR tutorial, so I was like, you know what, sure.
You know,
And I just got way too many.
Like it either.
I got so many weird
Nah, it
requests after
doesn't-
that, and I was like, nah, I can't do this again.
No, like occasionally, like it's usually music.
Mm.
Like if there's just a really nice harmonic chord, you know, like sometimes we're like, ooh,
See,
yeah.
that's pleasing
But other-
sound,
other-
but the
yeah.
ASMR stuff is usually like nasty.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
It's just like mouth sounds. There's this one guy that I've watched on TikTok. I don't watch him for his ASMR stuff, but sometimes he'll just be like, here's some ASMR, and he'll just go like all up to the
Why?
mic, and he's like got one of those like fat tongues that like makes that like
Oh.
slap sound to it, and like his lips
Yeah.
are like full of silicon too, so like it just
Mm.
makes that like real slap sound, and it's just like
Nope. Nope.
just sounds like getting attacked by a dog, like when they like lick you to death. It's like
I don't like that.
Jesus, that's horrible.
Okay, right. My brain is
With that intro out of the way.
frazzled. So, hello and welcome to the ZeroFunction Podcast. I am your host for today, Conall, and I am joined by my co-hosts Lee and
Hello.
Jen.
For anyone who's
And,
still listening
Jen.
after that.
And today we're going on a bit of a history tour, I guess.
going on a bit of.
Plus religion.
Oh
Alrighty.
jeez, I don't know what
Um,
this episode is about. So now that you've said history and religion, wait, do you know
I
what
love,
this? Do
I
you
love
know what
religious
this
history.
episode
I have
is?
no idea.
Okay, wait, religious history. All I thought of was like the coming of Jesus.
I mean,
No.
that is religion, yes.
I feel like that's something we'll do eventually, but it's not what I did today. So today we're going to talk about Shinto.
Ooh.
Are you
What?
aware of what Shinto is?
No, I couldn't have guessed that if you'd given me more time.
Well, he's aware.
Yeah.
So I'll start off with the Wikipedia start. Actually, I got most stuff from Wikipedia, but I like
Our
cross-referenced
trusted source.
referenced
Yes.
it back, and I kind of like shortened a bunch of stuff.
Okay,
Uh,
this
this
isn't an
is-
English
this is the
essay.
way.
We don't
This
care
is
if
the
you
way.
copied.
I'm just saying. So, Shinto is a religion which originated in Japan. Classified as an East Asian religion by scholars of religion, its practitioners often regard it as Japan's indigenous religion and as a nature religion. And nature religion is a religious movement that believes nature and the natural world is an embodiment of divinity, sacredness, or spiritual power. Nature religions include indigenous religions practiced in various parts of the world by cultures who consider the environment to be imbued with spirits and other sacred entities. That's kind of just like a little introduction to Shinto. So,
Alright.
So we're just learning about a different religion today.
pretty much.
What, like, the one thing that I know about Shinto is, and like, you've definitely got this on your list, but
Probably.
the one thing that I know about it is that they believe that everything has a soul, basically.
Pretty much, yeah. So, it's very... how do I explain this? So, it's not really a religion and such, because they don't really worship in a weird way. It's more like the environment around them is just like... It's like guiding beliefs in a weird way, and they do believe in kami, which are pretty much their deities.
It's their name for
So-
spirits. right?
Yeah, but they
That's a lot of big words.
they don't really fully like dive into like like Catholic worship. It's like God, the Holy Trinity, the Holy Spirit.
It's
kinda
a non-theistic religion.
yeah.
Like Buddhism.
So, just gonna
Buddhism.
say,
That's the thing. You don't actually really hear like anything about Buddhism. Like,
No, because they're just doing their thing.
yeah,
Hmm.
they're just chilling.
actually,
Yes.
Buddhism has a very large influence on Shinto.
Hey.
Because I'm not sure if you're aware, but in modern Japan currently, or present Japan, Buddhism is actually really large. Like there are huge statues of Buddha in Japan as well.
Yeah, it was,
There's like in Sendai, which is in one of the northern regions, I believe. There's like a fucking 100-meter tall statue.
Jeez.
I may be exaggerating that. It may be like 50 meters high.
That's
feel
still,
Hmm.
like that's the thing.
I
You
believe
see,
I believe it's a Buddha statue, but I know there is a bunch of Buddha statues around.
even in is it Brazil, the giant statue of
Christ
Jesus?
the Redeemer. Yeah.
Yeah. Even those
Rio.
like any massive statue like that, I'm just like, how? Like, how many people, A, died making it, B, spent their entire life just working on that?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Religion, man.
yeah. Like, I mean, same with the pyramid. I mean, the pyramids was a little bit more enslaving than, you know, what, but like...
Holy shit.
That is terrifying.
And that's real?
Yep, that's completely
Jesus.
real.
Wait, that's...
Like, it looks...
That's a statue.
It looks photoshopped.
It looks fake. Like, that is
It looks like something that...
Look at
like,
that.
they it looks like a...
That's more like 50 meters. 100
Yeah.
meters was a bit of a
It looks like a
exaggeration,
doll
but-
that, like, it sits on a table that they've, like, photoshopped
Yeah, it's like
into...
forced perspective almost, yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking massive. But
Like-
Wait.
But, like, the
Oh,
the
sorry.
lighting doesn't seem right. You know?
look at that tall boy.
And that's just, like, in the town.
Yeah, I believe. I'm assuming it's like a Buddha shrine.
That photo? The photo with, like, the power lines
Yeah,
and things
that-
like that.
That one.
Yeah, that's
That's a
just
spooky
bizarre.
photo.
It's just because, like, like with power lines and buildings and
Mm.
things like that, you're like, oh, cute little city, cute little town, whatever. And then there's just this giant fuck off
Massive
statue.
boy.
Like, dude.
I mean,
Oh
I
my
think
God.
Sendai's a pretty big city, so it doesn't quite. I mean, look at that.
Jesus.
Just towering on that mountain
It's
top.
like a, I don't know if you'll add this to the edit, but it's like a, like, landscape. Like, imagine, like, Greece sort of thing. It's just like a far back landscape, and then you just see this.
I would
like,
come show
Yeah.
it, but my thing's plugged in.
Yeah.
And
Oh, I'll check it up
everything,
on the
so-
Twitter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, what I was gonna say was that
I just got
Mm-hmm.
makeup in my eye.
so
Good job.
the word Shinto, which literally means the way of kami, or generally sacred or divine power, specifically the various gods of deities, come into use in order to distinguish indigenous Japanese beliefs from Buddhism. So Shinto was pretty much an amalgamation religion, as I would put it.
Question,
Right.
what made you want to research this today?
I don't know. I think I was gonna do something about like gods or deities or some sort of like religious beings,
Mm.
and then I don't know. I'm studying Japanese.
Fair enough.
so
Yeah, I was about to say, is it just because you're studying Japanese?
I was like, why not learn about it? You know.
Yeah.
Question.
What's a deity again?
Deity.
God.
Deity?
Deity, same thing.
Yeah.
A god.
British gods.
Anything that's worshipped, really.
Ah.
Yeah.
What, like, so an idol sort of thing?
Yeah.
I
I mean, they can be.
I've only ever really heard it referred to as like you
I feel
heard
like if
it
something's
used
got-
to refer to a god.
I feel like
Oh,
if
okay.
something's got enough worship, it's a deity.
So Zeus.
Yes.
Zeus is a deity.
Yes.
yeah. Well,
Deity. That sounds too close to deity.
funny enough. So, this is kind of just in the stuff, but
Mhm.
kami,
All right.
kami aren't necessarily.
You okay?
What?
No, Jen just choked on her coffee.
Choke.
Because you're like, what's in
So kami aren't necessarily the original like divine beings. There can be ancestral kami,
Mm.
which are like your ancestors that have died. And within some Japanese households, they will have like mini shrines. So you'll like pray to your ancestors, which become ancestral kami.
Don't they also do that sort of thing in some Spanish country? Have you seen Coco, the animated movie?
I've seen. I've watched a lot of video essays on
Oh,
Coco.
they-
I've not
they-
seen the film itself.
So
Interesting.
it's actually a pretty good film.
I
Like
like
for an
video
animated,
essays.
like for a modern day animation, it's actually pretty good. Because that's the thing, I don't watch that many like modern day animated movies because they've
Yeah.
kind of just gone.
There's some good ones.
Yeah,
There's
well,
some really good ones.
yeah. Coco is one of them. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'd say watch it. But anyway, there's this part where, like in the beginning, it's not really spoilers because it's part of the movie. But they, for everyone in their family that's died, they need to put a photo up for some sort of holiday. I don't know if it's like a Halloween thing. My brain's going Halloween, but I don't think it is. I think it's like a special holiday for them. And they put photos up so their ancestors can like cross over and like see them and things like that. Like if
Yeah,
they don't have a
it's,
photo shrine up.
It's Dia de Muerte.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't
Which
remember it.
I'm pretty sure that's the correct term because it's often translated as Dia de los Muertos, but I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
it's Dia de Muerte.
Yeah, but like,
Day of the
I
Dead.
wouldn't have a clue.
Day of the Dead.
yeah.
You know, where
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's
spirits,
obvious.
where
right,
the
yeah,
spirits
yeah.
of the ancestors return
Obviously,
and
I
commune
don't.
with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
living
But
world.
I'm
yeah, same sort of
following
thing. Like they
mostly.
have they have to put like shrines up of all their ancestors and things like that.
Completely derailing from your topic. Has anyone seen Spectre, the James Bond film?
Nope.
No. Okay. Have you seen the scene with the Day of the Dead parade
Vaguely.
in Mexico City?
Vaguely,
Okay,
yeah.
not.
Okay, it's like this massive
Yeah.
parade through the main street. That's not actually a thing that they do.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
they invented that for the film, and then the year after it came out, basically people lobbied the local government
To let it happen.
Yeah, saying,
Oh.
hey, this is a cool thing that people are coming to this town to the city to see. We should actually do it because it's pretty sweet.
Could you imagine if people came to the
Yeah.
city to see and then they were like, oh.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah, but
Cool.
I think they actually do it now, and it's like
Oh, sick.
massive, like it is in the film. Yeah,
that's
Damn.
cool.
the
But yes.
tourism economy. booming. Bruh.
that's often how it happens.
Yeah,
It really
honestly.
is.
Yeah, external influences change things. So,
Yeah.
Oh, like countries and even individual cities will pay big bucks to production companies, like
Buckaroos.
like in Age of Ultron, the second Avengers film. They just go to Seoul in South Korea
Oh yeah, right.
because the South Korean government paid them to
Really?
film there. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. That kind of thing is rife in contemporary Hollywood. Yeah.
Fair enough though.
Damn.
Right. So we were talking kami.
Yeah. Yep.
I love how
so
every time you're about to speak, you have to like buffer
I have
for a few
to. I have to
seconds.
collect my thoughts. When I speak, my thoughts get ahead of me, and then I trip up on my words, and it's so fucking annoying. But yeah.
I mean, you've seen me present a topic. I'm not much better.
I feel like I'm worse.
You more like he like buffers. You more like stutter into the sentence, but then
Yeah.
you like get going and like
Oh,
see,
yeah.
you more like repeat words, whereas he just kind of like loading zone.
Because it's also like I've put in down what I want to say,
True.
but
We
not
derail.
all the time I have it set in a format in which I actually want to speak it.
Ah.
So when I'm reading it, I want to change words for it to make more sense.
That's why I always just do things in bullet points, and then I know that we're just gonna shit talk our way through it anyway.
Okay. So
It's the best way to research.
a main thing,
Nice.
or the interesting part of Shinto is, that sets it apart from other religions is that it has no founders, sacred texts, and dogmas. So
So it's
nobody really controls Shinto.
There's no set belief system.
all just like
not-
word of mouth.
Not really. Originally, yes. So it was kind of Shinto was an amalgamation of Buddhism, Confucianism, and something else. Taoism. That may be the same as Confucianism. I'm not quite sure about the differences, but it was pretty much Korean, Chinese, Indian influences
Because
that kind of created it.
Japan had like a lot of invaders over the years.
Oh, yeah, they got invaded a lot.
Because
yeah.
it would have been the Chinese who brought Buddhism, eh? And
Yeah, I think
that's somewhere.
it came from India into China, and then China kind of just like they jumped the lake, the channel.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yeah, that's kind of how it went. So, we'll start off because most of the stuff I put down is the history. Because turns out there was a decent amount of it, and I ended up writing a lot or copying a lot. So, we'll start off with Old Shinto, and this is kind of the 4th century was when they first think it appeared. So what that's. All right. I'll say not right. Why am I thinking this? First observed evidence of
Good job.
my brain.
You're just arguing with your inner self.
Yeah. Jesus, are you about to fall over there? Don't fall over, Jesus Christ. What
the fuck?
do you mean?
Those have been there for weeks. Like,
These are always here, and then it's like 10-kilo dumbbells. Why?
Yeah,
wait, I want to wait.
get massive.
Wait. I want to see if I can do one.
Do one.
You
It's
know
a
how
bit
we
weak. Two-handed.
Leave me alone.
Oh my god, woman. It's only 10 kgs.
For those who cannot hear, Jen is struggling with a 10-kilo dumbbell.
Surely you could do at least one.
Wait.
Okay, all right. Let's.
Knee?
I can't. Like genuinely.
You are going to hurt yourself. Let's finish this episode, and then we can fuck around with the heavy things.
It's not even the full extension though, so it
No.
doesn't count. I'm so sweaty. I'm also scared a spider's gonna crawl into the back of my neck. From
Spider.
or a praying mantis.
Yeah.
It's more likely a praying mantis.
Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah. Right. What was I going at? So, the 4th century. First observed evidence of Shinto occurred in the What the fuck
Alright.
is wrong with you? Are you not gonna die of
much.
like heat stroke underneath that?
Jen has just gotten into bed, apparently.
Fuck is wrong with you?
Alright.
Yeah, so first observed evidence of Shinto occurred in the Yayoi period, I don't think I'm saying that right, of Japan's history, which was around 300 BC to 380, or is generally considered to be. The evidence, which was artifacts, was not fully confirmed as linked to Shintoism due to age. It was suggested that worship around the time largely consisted of beseeching and placating kami. So back then, it was more like worshipping gods, or instead of the kind of
Right.
belief of it.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like a keep the
It was out of
keep the
fear.
spirits happy so bad things don't happen. kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah,
Right.
obviously, because
I mean, that's like a
thinking back
lot
then.
of religions were just
A lot of
like,
ancient polytheistic
yeah.
belief systems.
and like
yeah.
sacrifices and things
Yeah.
like that.
And I did say Shintoism, but I don't know if it actually is referred to as Shintoism. I don't think they like
Shinto.
it being referred to it as that
Oh.
Mhm.
because it doesn't. Ism obviously just doesn't exist in the Japanese language. So
Yeah.
they're always just like Shinto.
Yeah.
Because it's
Well, Shinto's a perfectly
technically
good word
it's a
for it.
plural word as well,
Yeah.
technically. So yeah, it's like
Slightly off topic though, but why were sacrifices invented? Because like, let's be real,
placating the gods.
this is the, but like nobody ever really spoke to the gods. So how do you know that they wanted
Because
sacrifices?
people pretended they spoke to the gods. Mm-hmm.
So they were just like they needed sacrifice, and everyone's like, for my god, anything.
Because they want to, because people back then would want to stay in a place of power, so they make up a ritual which they think works, and then something coincidentally happens that's related to the ritual, and it's like, oh, the gods have responded. Woohoo!
It's there's a lot of it stems from the connection with blood being the sacred life force.
Yeah.
Like in living beings,
Blood
and how
rituals.
offering that to the gods is like, hey, this stuff is important. Here you go. Please don't smite us.
Yeah.
Basically.
Essentially, yeah.
Take my blood. Ooh.
Yeah.
I was about to go vampire.
Mind you,
again
they
there.
they did that. What's that? It's actually like a kids movie. But there were a bunch of like animated things like Moses and his cloak, and no, not Moses. What's the guy who had the colourful cloak? What's his name?
Joseph?
The guy who had the colourful cloak.
Yes, Joseph in the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
That's it, Joseph. Sorry, I
What?
said Moses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not aware of
Bible
this.
stories, but no, there's one where
Okay.
you have to smear blood above your doorway, and the Holy Spirit will
Oh.
spare you.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
that was Moses and the
Oh, so
that
Israelites
was
in
like
Egypt.
That one was
Yeah, it was
Moses,
like
yeah.
the purge of Egypt.
Yeah.
It was pretty much a purge.
I mean, essentially,
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was Prince of Egypt.
yeah.
Yeah.
Was that like a real thing that happened, or like was that just a?
Take a good guess.
I
I'm
mean,
saying, is it like a Bible story, or was it just like a weird animated film?
no,
Both-
that's
both
it's a
them.
Bible story. Prince of Egypt, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
'cause-
it's based on
'cause
Exodus.
It was the doorway thing, and
Yeah,
then,
you have to
and then
put
it
blood
was
above
the
your-
frogs, and then it was
Yeah, so basically,
else.
Parting with the
um,
Red Sea.
locusts, I think.
Yeah,
If I remember.
there,
locusts.
basically there was I don't know if there was a prophecy or not, but the
Yeah,
pharaoh
prophecy.
basically ordered, because the Egyptians had Israelite slaves at that point, and the pharaoh ordered all the Israelite children, or maybe it was the firstborn sons, to be killed. And Moses' mother basically put him in a basket and sent him off down the river. And then, depending on the translation, it was either Pharaoh's wife or
No,
daughter.
it was wife in the film.
Yeah, it was either his wife or his daughter who found the child in the basket and then took him back, raised him as an Egyptian, as
Yeah.
part of the royal family, and then he went out one day when he was an adult, saw the burning bush. God talked to him, discovered, oh hey, I'm an Israelite and my people are being enslaved by the people I thought were my family. Okay, went to Pharaoh and basically said, you let my people go.
Yeah.
That whole thing.
Just a bit of a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Essentially, yeah.
Obviously Pharaoh refused.
And then he's like, I got the Holy Ghost on my side, man. Like, don't mess with my team.
Yep. God sent the 6 plagues, and then the 7th was basically God came down and killed every firstborn son in the land.
God personally?
Unless they had a blood smear of their...
God, Holy Spirit, same difference.
I mean, in the movie, it's a ball of light, so...
Yeah, they, like... It was a... They would slaughter a... Lamb, yes. As a sacrifice to God, and then paint their doors with the blood, and the spirit would pass over them. What's really cool is in that sequence, they use the same, like, kind of... like light effect for the spirit that they did in Raiders of the Lost Ark. You know, when they open the Ark, and the spirit comes out and kills all the Nazis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't look, Marion. It's such a good scene.
That's spooky.
That's a great movie.
When his face like melts, doesn't it melt the Nazi's face?
Yeah.
Is that a kids movie?
Tot, that was his name.
Is it?
Indiana Jones.
I feel like it is, but it isn't at the same time.
Raiders of the Lost Ark, the first one. Yeah. Oh my God, really?
Probably, but like...
Nazi face melting.
So yeah, that's
and then
that's
blood rituals
Exodus.
in a temple.
I mean, the blood ritual thing, that was a kid's movie. Like, I remember watching that when I was, like, a child.
Yeah, I feel like we watched it pretty young as well.
Was that one?
Yeah.
Is it the first one in the temple with the blood ritual with the girl? Indiana Jones?
No,
first one?
Temple of Doom, the second one?
That's the second
That's
one?
the second one.
Which one's the third
With
one? Is that
Kalima.
That's
No?
it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Shinto.
Oh, yeah, right. So...
Mola Ram, prepare to meet Kali in hell.
Shut up. So, continuing...
Yes, please.
Sort of, so we just did 4th century, and this is kind of 4th, 5th, and 6th century, because
Oh, so this is,
it's
like,
quite
old.
it's quite jumpy in the way the history goes. But in the Kofun period, 300 AD to 538 AD, Japan was divided among Uji clans, and each held their own tutelary kami, which were known as Ujigami, sorry. And, like, tutelary is kind of like the guiding kami, or, like...
This is why I don't
guardian?
study... This
Like-
is why I don't study any foreign thing, because there's no way in hell I'd be able to pronounce any of these.
Yeah, so pretty much every clan that was fighting had their own guardian kami,
Yeah.
as they would put it. During this time, migrants were starting to bring Buddhism and Confucianism
What is that?
into Japan, which converted many after its arrival.
It's
Chinese.
the teachings of Confucius.
Yes, he was
Scholar
like
and
a
philosopher.
scholar and philosopher, very important guy.
Yes.
Okay, sick.
Like one of the founding people of good philosophy. Like, who's the other guy? Who's the Greek guy? The Greek guy.
Plato.
Yeah,
Socrates?
Socrates. Yeah, all those
Yeah.
kind of. It was kind of like
As soon as you
same
said the
level.
Greek guy, I kind of knew who you were on about.
Like
Yeah.
anyone from around that kind of 500 BC
Yeah.
era. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty much. Yeah, so pretty much lots of people were converted to Buddhism and Confucianism.
Confucius.
I can't say it.
Confucianism.
Yeah.
Confucianism. Every time I look at it and try to like.
Confucianism.
Nism.
So during this period, the Yamato clan formed a hegemony.
Fuck! Sorry, no, all I can think of is Space Battleship Yamato. No,
What is that from?
Space Battleship Yamato.
I don't remember.
Why did that come into
It's an anime.
the one anime you actually...
Space
come on.
Battleship Yamato.
Yeah,
That is the anime's name.
Yeah, it's like Earth is facing like
How old is this?
an
I
ecological
am
crisis.
aware of
And they-
the concept of the Yamato
Yes, the
battleship being a spaceship, but I was not aware it was a full-on anime.
Yes, they raise the battleship Yamato, the World War II battleship Yamato, from the seabed and convert it into a
Was
starship.
this like a 90s anime?
I think it was. I think it was 80s or 90s. Yeah,
Didn't the Yamato get torpedoed on like its third mission?
something like that. Yeah.
It didn't do much.
Well, it was. So,
It was really cool. But
It was so massive that
So was the Titanic.
it was so massive that it was just slow and not maneuverable.
yeah.
Like it
It had
had.
big guns though.
Yeah.
So was the Titanic. It didn't do much, but... Would you guys go on the Titanic too?
Hey?
What?
The Titanic too. They're making a second Titanic. Or they already have. It's like set to sail either end of this year or end of next year.
I can't imagine they can fuck it up any worse than they did the first one.
Well...
Maybe
the
they
crew.
will.
Someone was
just
like-
'cause.
Bro, someone was like, we've melted all the ice caps, so, you know, you guys are something. You guys are fine.
They're not wrong.
Fuck's sakes. What was I doing?
Jenna is something. That's what you said.
Gina? Oh, I meant to say. Oh fuck! I can't say it. Hegemony.
Where are you looking?
Hegemony, yeah.
Hegemony. Yeah. So
think.
during this period, the Yamato clan forged a hegemony. And Yuriyaku.
The only reason I
Yuriyaku.
remembered where you were up to is because it sounded like my name.
He
so I was
named
like,
himself Great King of Japan.
Nice.
King.
Yeah, in the
We
time
stand.
of Yamato's rule, Shinto practices were spread to kami shrines around Japan. However, in 587, Emperor Yome converted to Buddhism and sponsored it. So there was some like proliferation of Shinto among Japan during the Yamato clan's rule, but then this guy, fucking Emperor Yome, he's like,
This fucking
Yeah.
guy.
Buddhism, so it kind of got like pushed out a little, which
Derailed.
is slightly interesting. But what I find quite interesting is that until maybe the late 1800s, Buddhism and Shinto were kind of like coexisted, unlike other religions, which would just like Catholicism's like, yo, crusade time.
Well, it's probably more akin to Catholicism and Protestantism.
Yeah, because they're quite similar. They're not.
For going to
Yeah.
a religious school, I have no idea what we're on about. Like, I don't
Really?
remember jack. I blocked out most of high school, to
No,
be fair.
Martin Luther and his
Martin
theses.
Luther.
Oh yeah, like I
Yeah.
remember like a vague skit, like I was saying with the sport and rec thing before we started recording. Like I don't remember it, but like if you bring it up, I'm like, oh yeah, that thing. Yeah,
Right.
cool.
The church was taking money or something, and he's like, wah.
Yeah,
Just
essentially.
fair.
I don't remember exactly. How
Yeah,
it happened, but
the churches were trying to like they were pretty much give us gold so you can buy your way into heaven.
or
Yeah.
Henry VIII wanting to divorce his wife.
Oh, he killed like
Yeah.
3 of them.
Wait, did he become Protestant to divorce his wife or something? Was that
Yeah,
how it worked?
because
And he became like Pope of Protestantism. I
I mean they don't have a pope, but
Or
he
the,
but
the,
he
Wait,
the
do it?
leader at least.
yeah, like the Catholic Church wouldn't allow him to divorce his wife because she couldn't bear him a son.
Yeah.
Like she only had female children. So he's like, well, I kind of want to get rid of you and marry a new woman so I can actually have an heir.
Yeah.
But the church won't let me. So
Did
fuck
he
it, we have a
kill
new
that
church now. I don't know. I think he only killed 2 of his wives.
Something, because I feel like I saw a movie about this. I feel like he divorced her, married her sister, or someone close to her anyway. And then he had a son, and then he killed her. I remember seeing a movie about this, and
Is
I
he
don't
the
know.
originator of Kill, Shake, Marry the game?
Maybe. Maybe. I love it. The game, TM.
The game. Trademarked.
I
Fuck's
think
sakes.
he had 6 wives, but I think Anne Boleyn was the only
Sorry.
one who was beheaded.
I can't divorce you. I need it, but I'm going to have 6 more.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it was his first wife was Catherine.
Yeah, that's
Oh
the one who
boy.
got beheaded, wasn't it?
No, that was Anne
Catherine.
Boleyn.
Oh.
Catherine of Aragon. That's right. Which was
queen.
one of the precursor states to Spain.
Did you say I don't want to become queen?
No, why would I say that
I
in
don't
in any way? Didn't one of them become queen afterwards somehow? I think.
I think it was.
And yeah.
Wait,
and-
so the one who
oh
got
boy,
beheaded
I can't
isn't the one
remember.
who couldn't bear a son? I swear it is.
I mean, yeah. Like Anne Boleyn wouldn't couldn't bear him a son, and
Yeah.
neither could any of the others. Right.
Wait, so did he never end up with an heir?
I'm pretty sure.
So did he never end up with an heir?
I don't fucking know. Why are you looking at me?
I'm pretty sure Catherine
I
of
don't know.
Aragon
I'm hearing about the
boy.
Shinto.
I don't know.
True.
Henry VIII was succeeded by Edward VI, who was he was the son. Okay, so Jane Seymour bore him an heir. She was his third wife.
Turd.
So why did he divorce her?
She died 2 weeks after the birth of their child.
Classic.
Yeah. So
It really is. Back then, at least.
Yeah. Back then it's like, childbirth. See, that's the thing. Like,
oh my god.
death during childbirth is actually, like, still relatively high considering modern medicine.
Yeah. I mean, it's much better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But, like, you don't have to do it.
Wait, sorry.
the giving birth.
I zoned out. Oh, right, yeah. No, thank you.
Okay, so yeah, it was his annulment. It was the annulment of his marriage to Catherine of Aragon that
Why didn't he
spurred
just
the
kill
English
her?
Reformation.
Catherine of Aragon.
Because she was a princess of Aragon, which is a precursor state to Spain.
I know, but some, like, take
That's
some
in the
notes.
north, isn't it?
It would have started a war.
Take some notes from Romeo and Juliet. Just take some poison, whatever, and be like, oh my god, my wife.
What is wrong with you?
I would have been quicker.
No.
I believe Aragon was a northern state, so it had quite good ties to France as well, so you wouldn't really like...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so a divorce is so much better.
I mean, yeah, she's not dead.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know, but then why would they want to still do business with you if it's like, I don't want you anymore? But your kingdom,
No.
that's what I'm saying. If she had died, it's like, oh, my poor wife, I'm now a widow.
It's possible
Widower.
that through
Widow? Whatever.
killing her and Spain finding out, it would cause... It would give them the rights to have a casus belli, or a war goal.
But instead, they got divorced. Like, how do you still have it? That's like, I want to divorce you, but I still want access to your kingdom.
Well, it's tamer, I would say.
Bro, I'd be like, get lost. No.
She was apparently really well liked by the common people, so yeah, probably wouldn't have been a great idea to execute her.
Yeah.
But no, not like public execution. I'm saying like, just during the night. Just a little,
Still,
yeah.
stuff can be found out.
Still, the point is, I still feel like divorce is way worse than that. If she's well liked as well,
I don't think a divorce
Won't
is worse
your-
than killing someone.
won't
Yeah.
no, back in those days, because like if she's well liked and everything, and you want to divorce her, how is everyone not like, oh well, you're a prick? She's like the best.
Yeah, but if the common people really like her, if she's fucking dead and they find out, that guy's gonna get denounced by the entire common people. Maybe a rebellion.
Back in those, I reckon it was easy to like hide something like that.
Maybe, but the people who have ulterior motives to the king at the time who might find that and then give it to the common people because they want to overthrow that king at the time.
Yeah, I guess.
Politics.
But if she was really well liked, maybe they might feel sorry for a grieving husband.
No, because he killed her.
There's a great
But they don't know that.
There's a great scene in one of the later seasons of Supernatural where they're hunting it's relevant. They're hunting some kind of Japanese monster, and they call they call Bobby for information, and he tells Dean that he needs to kill it. He needs a blade blessed in a running spring by a Shinto priest.
Very specific.
So he takes a katana, because I guess they just have a katana.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
And he pays a chef at a sushi restaurant to pray over the blade in Japanese while he's pouring a bottle of spring water over it.
Oh my god.
Does it
And
work?
apparently it works.
Bro.
I mean, you know the right words. Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's my homework. But copy it, but change it slightly.
yeah, it was somewhere around season 7. That show just went
How
off
do
the
you know
rails.
that though? Like, how do you know? Like, that's very specific. How do you know? Oh, the only way to kill this thing is specifically like
Because
that.
Bobby's the guy in the chair.
Bob.
Like, he knows all this stuff.
I've never seen
You
an
know
episode of
thing.
Supernatural.
Really,
Yeah.
honestly, like, just watch the first 5 seasons and then stop.
Just
Yes.
the first 5.
Well, there's 15 seasons. Just watch the first 5.
Doesn't it go whack when like
Seasons 2 through 5 are perfect. Season 1 is a bit rough because they were still finding their feet, but 2 through 5, perfect show. Don't watch past there because, like, it's all right. It goes off the rails.
Sam's just a sad sack.
Yeah.
He's really annoying.
I mean, he doesn't have a soul for most of season 6, and then he's like possessed by an angel for a lot of season 8.
Yeah, but he's just kind of annoying. I must admit.
Yeah.
Even Dean, because Dean's stubborn, but yeah.
I've seen like a lot of behind the scenes stuff, like again TikToks, and like Dean stabbed Sam.
Probably.
They
So
hurt
there's-
each other a lot.
No,
from my
it's
memory.
no, like as in legit. He legitimately stabbed him. Accident, obviously. He was holding a knife, and they like fall into each other,
Dean has stabbed a lot
and
of
he
people.
stabs him in the leg.
Like,
Like it's not scripted. Like literally stabs him with the knife that he's holding by accident,
That
yeah.
wouldn't surprise me. Yeah.
and then they call
Yikes.
cut, and he's kind of like, "There's a knife in my leg."
oh no.
But they like played the scene out, and I was like, "Bro, that's,
Honestly,
that's...
I think it was season 11 was the last one that I watched.
yeah."
Like spoilers, they meet God, and as like reward for sealing away this primordial power of darkness, he resurrects their dead mother.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyone who's seen Aladdin should know the things that shouldn't be done is resurrecting anyone from the dead. They don't belong there. And God himself...
not a pretty sight.
Yeah, God himself is like, "Oh, bring your mother back. Like, she's dead. She's not supposed to be here anymore."
They met God like 6 seasons before, but didn't know it was him. He didn't even know it was him.
How does God not know that he's God?
Because he like disappeared from heaven and was hiding on Earth as a writer.
He's
And
vibing.
As a writer.
Honestly, just watch the first 5 seasons and then stop. It's a great show. And just pretend that everyone gets a happy ending.
Yeah,
mostly.
just pretend it ended okay.
Except
Yeah.
for the people who don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Back to Shinto. Thank
I
you.
tried.
Yeah, you did, yeah.
7th century. So this one's kind of short. Not much happened here.
Not much happened that year.
It's
Well, that 100 years.
Important,
Yeah.
but not much happened. So, in the 7th century, the Jingikan, Council of Kami, was formed to coordinate rites and rituals in the capital. During this time, official shrines were also selected and were given certain privileges and rights. This would be the first major structural form of Shinto.
Yes, I was gonna say they're kind of like forming a framework for it.
Every
Yeah,
time you say
yeah.
Kami,
Kami.
every time you say Kami, I think you're saying kanji, as in like the
Oh.
letters, and I'm like,
That
wait,
sounds familiar.
hold up.
Kami.
No, Kami.
I know that there is one of the Kami, and he's literally called or whatever it's called Hachiman, and it's really confusing because
You guys missed my Dragon Ball Z reference.
Yeah.
shut up.
I hate Dragon Ball
Kamehameha.
Z. So trash.
Yep.
Sorry, yep. Continue.
Forget.
Hachiman.
Yeah, because Hachi is 100 and Man is 1000 in Japanese, and I don't know why. There must be like an alternative meaning, but it's like why?
Sounds
100,
Like
1000.
sounds like a sealess Digimon.
100,000?
Hachiman.
Hachiman.
Jeez.
Go Hachiman.
I choose you.
Thanks. I hate it.
That's Pokemon.
So yeah. Anyway, there was actual structure.
What would you be if
Come
you
to
were a
Shinto.
Pokemon?
Oh my god. Voltorb. Carry on.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'd
so-
probably be Squirtle, not gonna lie, just because like.
Squirtle Squad. All right, so
Why Squirtle?
okay, so we're getting.
turtles, and he's kind of a turtle.
Oh my god.
The look you gave me, I was very concerned.
Of all
with
the
your
things.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Okay,
'cause-
so-
or like Bulbasaur, just because a little bit podgy, but like still cute.
I'll just be something that could fly. I don't know.
Fair.
What's the most powerful one?
I don't know.
Charmander.
There's
He's
fucking,
not the most
like-
powerful. It's just the first thing I could think of that could like.
the most
There's like
powerful.
there's like
Charmander.
nature gods at this point being tamed by 10-year-olds.
No, but like evolution,
Yeah.
like 3, like it's not called that anymore though. What's third evolution of a?
There's Charmander, Charizard, and
Is it a Charizard?
yeah, I'm pretty sure it goes Charmander, Charizard, and then
Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard.
There you go.
Charmeleon. Yeah, sorry.
So
Got it
sorry, yeah,
wrong
you'd be a
there.
Charizard.
I forgot
There you
about Charmeleon. Nobody likes Charmeleon.
That's
Sounds-
true.
Anyway,
go. So you'd be that one.
Yes. Okay. So what?
So apparently a lot
8th
of
century. We're getting
so
some structure.
yeah, 8th century. This is kind of like. This is kind of where like stuff is pretty much set up. Not much
Right.
changes till like the modern century. So, in the 8th century, the 2 most important Shinto texts were established: the Kojiki and the Nihon Shoki. The Kojiki contained stories and traditions of Shinto from the past that did not include references to Buddhism, as this text was focused on indigenous matters. The Nihon Shoki, however, made many references to Buddhism and was aimed at foreign audiences, but carried the same purpose. So they were kind of just like 2 points of view on the previous history of Shinto.
You've got one version for people who are like more familiar with traditional Japanese beliefs, and then one for people who are like more familiar with Buddhism. And
very weird. I don't know why there wasn't just one for everything, but I guess one was more focused on the indigenous stuff. But anyway, oh god.
Good job.
Did you mute your mic for that?
No.
It probably would have picked up anyway.
But it wouldn't be like right in the ear. You know what?
Good stuff.
You have to edit it. So
What's important about these is that ultimately these texts were made to try and establish the imperial clan's descent from the sun kami Amaterasu. So Amaterasu is the Japanese sun goddess, daughter of creator deities Izanagi and Izanami, and central to the Shinto religion. An embodiment of the rising sun in Japan itself, she is the queen of the kami and ruler of the universe.
Okay, so they're establishing a divine lineage for the royal family, basically.
Yeah, this is where the imperial family started.
Right.
All came crumbling down very quickly, as you will find out. But yeah, pretty much the imperial family was like, yeah.
When you said sun goddess, all I could imagine was like, again, anime. Like an anime chick standing there and it's like a slow pan and it's just all like sparkles and things like that. And she's like,
yeah. So it makes a lot of sense, that's where the rising sun came from, and pretty much. And it's kind of neat, I must admit. And surprising for a religion.
Sun? Are we talking about astrology signs?
I would say surprising for a religion or an early religion to have a female deity at its head.
Yeah.
Which is quite surprising, I must admit.
Very progressive.
Very progressive. Maybe not.
Then she died.
Foreshadowing.
There's some other stuff where it's like, you're like, woo, sun goddess. It's like, but. So, other influential clans at the time also made some of their own texts to try and highlight their divine lineages. Most notably, the Sendari Kuchi Honji, or Hongi, for the Mononobe clan, and the Kokoshui for the Inbe, or Imebe clan. I think it's usually referred to as the Inbe. What was I gonna say? But anyway, I think the Mononobe clan.
No?
Oh my god. The Mononobe clan. Their one was. Oh no, it's not here. I'm sorry. I think they had a minor kami as their.
Hello.
What's it?
Salute.
Tutelary kami. That's what it's called. Yeah.
I will sing the whole song if you're not careful.
Oh no.
Please don't.
Oh no.
Please don't.
It's a great song.
Cease and desist.
Yeah. As I was coming back to what I was saying before about how like Buddhism and Shinto were kind of like they didn't really have conflict at this time. They were just like
at this time.
I'm guessing that doesn't last.
Yeah, I was like at this time.
they were more so like interwoven right now because it was neither of them tried to become the dominant religion and more so coexisted as views from both religions became relevant to each other. For example, one such approach was that the kami themselves were beings that had achieved enlightenment in Buddhism. So it was kind of like overlaps where both religions could be like, oh yeah, that's...
Right, so the kami are Buddhas, basically.
Yeah, pretty much. So it was like, okay.
Right, which serves to make it more palatable to a Buddhist audience.
Yeah, so it was like...
So at what point does this all go downhill? I feel like there's a dramatic fight about to happen.
Sort of. Okay.
So Buddhism was like, no, you're
before we're almost at modern. Okay, so this is still the 8th century. In the Nara period, which I think was, I can't remember. Maybe in the end of the 8th century or the start.
I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna have to skip a few centuries if we're gonna get through this.
We will.
You.
I'm sorry. So in the
Disgusting.
Nara period, the practice of moving the capital after the emperor's death was abolished by the Taiho Code,
When did the emperor
which
die?
resulted in the establishment of the imperial city, thus allowing the office for Shinto rites to have a stronger authority over the local shrines compared to when the office had to be moved to the new capital city. So they actually had a base of operations now, pretty much,
Right.
and the influence grew from
Was
there.
it kind of like a church, or was it just like a...
No, it was. I believe it was more just like kind of
retail office?
It's kind of like a
like,
bureaucratic organization.
Yeah, advising the other shrines on how to do the rites and rituals or whatever, and like kind of organizing them, but not really controlling them
Yeah.
at that time.
Foreshadowing.
So, modern Shinto. Just jump in a few centuries. There was stuff in between, like the age of the warring states or the era or whatever, all the good stuff. Oda Nobunaga, that good things.
Oda
Interesting
Nobunaga.
enough. Are you aware of Oda Nobunaga?
I know the name.
He pretty much, there was like one of the ages of the warring states where there was the emperor was a little bitch, I think, and designated pretty much all control to the shogunate.
Yeah.
And shogunate was shit, so then fought other shoguns, and pretty much Oda Nobunaga prevailed at the end, and then he was apparently heralded as a kami in human form. Interesting
about right.
enough. And there were some other figures throughout history that were, but yeah, that's interesting, because
Now-
the warring states is like a very popular history point in like Japan.
Now, where
schools.
where does all this fit in with the 13th century Mongol invasion of Tsushima Island?
That was
I don't
weirdly
know.
specific.
I really don't know. Oh, warring states, interesting enough, towards the end, Catholics were pretty much purged from Japan.
Awesome.
Yeah, the missionaries were just
And
kicked out by samurai.
did not return until the Meiji Restoration.
I believe so. They were just yeeted out.
Yeah.
Sick.
Anyway,
Well,
so,
because Japan had like a strict like policy of non-interference
Mhm.
for centuries up until the Meiji Restoration.
Yeah, they did not like people coming in at all. I think it's because they were
They-
so
they didn't-
unstable all the time.
Yeah, and that's the reason for it. They didn't like people going out either.
Yeah.
South
They
Korea?
Like
really wanted to
trade was
send-
North
very
Korea.
limited.
Yeah.
Huh?
I was like North Korea.
Yeah,
Sort of, yeah,
I
honestly.
said South, but I meant North. But
like less authoritarian, but just isolated.
Yeah.
So, this is,
modern century.
this is where things get funky.
Chaotic
So,
century.
The
There's
Meiji the Meiji Era,
Yes.
the period of time from around 1868 to 1915 was named the Meiji Era, and is said to be the years in which modern Shinto was formed.
Wow.
During this time, Shinto shrines were brought under more government and imperial influence to obviously increase imperial loyalties. So pretty
Yay.
much the imperial family were like, we need power.
They're like,
Yeah.
hey, you know that like religion that you guys like love and you guys have like freedom of speech and shit like that? Yeah, we're gonna take that now.
Yeah. So what the Meiji Restoration was
This rain is really starting to get to it's just getting louder and
Little
louder.
bit, yeah.
It might come.
I hope it doesn't pick up on mics. But
Close the window.
but yeah, the Meiji Restoration was a period where basically the shogunate and the
I did it.
the shogunate and the emperor had differing ideas on what Japan's role should be on the world stage going forward. I think the emperor wanted to open their borders basically and have and start trade with the outside world and do all that, and the shogunate wanting to hold on to their power and the old samurai feudal class system. They wanted that to continue, and outside influence would show the commoners that, hey, there's a different way that we could be doing things, other than having samurai able to behead people in the street. Let's
So
maybe do
this
that.
really was the turning point where Japan really started to transform.
I can lie,
and,
the samurais are still sick though.
yeah, and I don't remember a lot of the specifics of the
I don't really
wars and
know
stuff.
either, yeah.
But it basically ended with Japan transforming into a very imperial state. That's
Imperial dictatorship.
yeah, that's where we get the Japanese Empire as it existed, in World War II.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So, during this time, Buddhism was seen as a corrupting influence to Japan, which was largely in part due to fears from Western expansion and especially Catholicism.
Catholicism.
This led to
Yeah.
Shinto having a larger influence in the subsequent years within Japan.
Oh.
So they were like,
Catholicism just
"Get the
wrecked
fuck out."
everything.
Oh, those
Bruh.
Catholics.
Yes, it is. It's like, right, out you get.
Those.
Get out of here.
We ain't taking no shit from
Um,
nobody today. Get out.
Yeah, so as an evolution of the Office of Shinto and the government influences pressuring it, the Office of Shinto became a department of Shinto Affairs, the Jingikan, so pretty much they were completely, absorbed into the government.
Right.
Due to this, Buddhism was completely separated from kami worship, and a hierarchy of shrines was clearly established. Additionally, hereditary priesthood titles were removed, and a state system was created for assigning priests. So they had like full control over it at that point.
Right.
It was a full-on state-run
It's a
religion.
government-sanctioned.
Yeah.
Religion. Okay.
As I have written down here, or it was said, Shinto became akin to a state cult in the build-up to World War II as Emperor Meiji and Emperor Showa, or more commonly known as Hirohito,
Yes.
became closer to deified humans during this time of imperial Shinto reform.
Sounds about right.
So they were really,
My nemesis.
they were really going in on the whole, the imperial family. We
We are the
descend
pure
from
bloods.
we descend from the sun kami. Let's go. And here comes the funny old thing.
Here
So,
comes the boom.
however, in
The real kicker.
1946, Emperor Showa renounced any claim to be a deity in human form, or otherwise known as a Kitsumikami. This led to the Constitution of Japan being created, which was an amended version of the Meiji Constitution.
When was
I
this?
am a god, you foul
That
creature.
was on January 1st of 1946.
1946.
They
Okay,
created-
so it's like immediately after. So this would have
Yep.
been part of their articles of
It's-
concession.
Yeah, but yeah.
So once
the
shit
Part
went
of the
south, he was like, oh, actually.
because the West were pretty much like, get democratized. Democratized?
Yeah, it's like do
Yeah.
things our way, or we will drop another bomb on you.
Yeah, that was pretty much, and like the whole demilitarization and whatnot, and all that thing.
And of course, at that point, the Russians were like the Soviets were marshalling in the north.
yeah, they were vibing.
They were preparing to invade Japan.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
Yeah, they
Japan
were
was
ready to
fucked
go.
either way at this
Yeah.
point.
yeah,
Well,
because
especially how small they are as well. Like, they've got no leverage.
If they didn't drop the nukes, from what I know, there would have been more casualties because
Oh yeah,
Russia would have come in from the north, and it would have been an even more intense Pacific War
Was
with,
it hailing?
with America actually
Possibly.
invading America. I believe the plan was actually already set for America to invade Japan,
oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
but the general at the time, he was really excited to go. As bad as it sounds, he really wanted to jump in there, but they dropped the two
Was that-
nukes.
Was that
which-
Patton or MacArthur?
I don't know. I really don't know.
I'm looking
It might
it
be
up now.
MacArthur. I'm not quite sure, but yeah. Anyway, it would have been a lot more
Douglas
casualties. As bad as the nukes were, would have been way worse.
Damn.
Oh yeah,
People would have just been slaughtered.
yeah, like
Yeah.
tens of millions of people, Russians, Americans, Japanese. Yeah,
Yeah, wouldn't have been.
mostly
good.
civilians too.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's the
So in
thing.
hindsight,
I find
bad but good at the same time.
Yeah.
it's absolutely incredible to me that Tokyo was basically razed during the war. Like it was almost completely destroyed,
Really?
and now it's like
I had no idea.
yeah, there was like 'cause
Shit.
there was a massive bombing campaign against the Japanese mainland
Oh
by the Allies.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, and like now it's like a center of industry. Like
It's mental.
it's
Humongous. What
it's insane.
the fuck was I saying? Oh, right. Yeah, so this led to the Constitution of Japan being created, which was an amended version of the Meiji Constitution. The biggest effect from this would be the emperor mostly stepping back into a symbolic role instead of one of power. So pretty much the same as the British monarchy.
Right.
Don't really hold power anymore. It's pretty much the government or the prime minister and whatnot that take care of things. After the war, this is like post-war, there's not much on it, but after the war, due to the new constitution of Japan, freedom of religion was established, which caused Shinto to be separated from the government and came under its own organization, which was the Association of Shinto Shrines. So they pretty much didn't have any financial influence or help from the government anymore. They were completely separate.
Right.
Just because the Western countries, they did not like it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, since Emperor Showa was like full on, like, yes, Shinto, yes, you know the whole thing about like the Japanese soldiers going to war, be like for the Emperor,
Yeah.
and shit, and like kamikazing just because they believed in the Emperor was like a deity. Like it was that intense. So
Bruh.
the West, pretty much after the war, was like, no relation. After the separation from the government, any form of Shinto rite or ritual that was performed with government assistance was met with a quick backlash, as many still associated Shinto with the government during World War II. Closer to the present, many new religious movements have been created and been successful with similar but different beliefs to Shinto. So yeah, pretty much it's completely separated now, and
Are they still like so like? I was gonna say OP, but OP is not the right word. It's still like
so nowadays Shinto, it's more like a cultural thing than an actual religion, because people will still go to the shrines just because it is a cultural thing. Like people go to Shinto shrines to pray for better exam results or whatever, just like simple stuff like that, and not really actually worshipping the kami. It's kind of just like, yeah, this is something we do.
This
is
is
that a
the
Japanese culture thing or just a Shinto culture thing?
It's a Japanese culture thing,
Oh.
because it's very popular.
Well, I imagine it was so entwined with the national identity for so long.
Yeah,
that
it is part of their cultural identity. Shinto is, although they may not believe in Shinto itself. It's just what they do. Like it's what their
done
family
thing.
did before them.
Yeah.
This is the way.
This is the way.
Yeah.
Do you know the way?
I will show you the way.
Pain. So that was pretty much the
I am the
history
captain now.
I mean, I was going Mando with it, but sure.
of Shinto. I do have some of the major kami listed, and I just put down some of the roles.
Alrighty.
And that's pretty much what I researched, because I knew the history was going to take so goddamn long.
Especially with like, see, like you always like put your points like this, and then our story goes like this.
Yep. So,
Sidetracks.
obviously we had
Ooh, Jesus.
Amaterasu, which was the sun goddess, which we already went over, and there
Yeah.
is fuck, I'm gonna butcher some of these.
Alrighty. Do you want me to read them?
I mean, I've got a better idea.
Go for
I
it.
think, yeah.
Hey, he's the one learning Japanese. He's got
we've
to learn these.
Ame no Uzume. I mean, well, there was Amaterasu, but it's
I love how you put on the accent too.
It's AMA, even though you pronounce it Ame. It should be Ama, I would think. So
In English.
yeah.
In English, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, because MA is Ma.
That's what I'm saying.
That's
So
what
in
it is.
English, it's like that. But
No, but in Japanese
Ma.
it is Ma.
Ma.
It is Ma. That is the pronunciation.
Ma.
Anyway, Ame no
Ma.
Uzume, commonly called Uzume, she is the goddess of dawn and revelry in Shinto.
sounds like me.
We've got
Revelry in the
Fujin.
dark.
Fujin, yes, also known as Kaze no Kami, is the Japanese god of the wind and one of the eldest Shinto gods. Said to have been present at the creation of the world, he is often depicted as an oni with a bag slung over his back. I don't know why he has a bag slung over his back.
He's
Just 'cause
homeless.
He's like he's going with the wind.
Yeah. Why not?
Bro. Gone
Think
with
it
the
makes
wind.
sense.
That's
Oh, here he is.
Guiding him.
Hachiman is the god of war and the divine protector of Japan and its people.
Alrighty.
Originally an agricultural deity, he later became the guardian of the Minamoto clan. His symbolic animal and messenger is the dove. He went from being an agricultural deity to the god of war.
yeah.
Why?
Yeah, that makes sense.
How does that occur?
You know, farm boys, they're strong.
Somebody broke his crops. He's like,
It's probably when a group of farmers were called up to
The
fight
Catholics
in
showed
war
up.
or something. Yeah.
Or like that, the god of the wind was just like came up to his farm and was like, and he's like, you know what? No.
Then the winged hussars arrived.
God.
I knew there was going to be a song somewhere
Yeah.
in this.
Wow.
You'll go off on.
It was a
get any
stretch.
chance.
It was a
to
stretch.
do something. We got Inari Okami, the god or goddess of rice and fertility. The messengers and symbolic animals are foxes. They are often
Yes.
identified with
What does the fox say?
Ukano Mitama and Buddhist deity Dakinetin. Oh, I don't know who that is.
Ghost of Tsushima.
Who the
Pet
fuck are
all
you?
the foxes.
Pet foxes.
Pet the
The
fox
Japanese
every time.
foxes are so
Yes.
cute.
If you don't pet the fox every time, you're a
Do you know
psychopath.
about the
and I don't
foxes
trust
in
you.
Japan?
Sorry?
The foxes in Japan, they're constantly just like smiling.
Yeah,
so
they're just
cute.
like
A fox and a cherry blossom is
They
like
make
the
weird
most
sounds, though.
peaceful. Yeah. Have you heard a fox like actually scream? It's like yeah.
I have
Yeah.
not. I don't think I want to. We've got.
Anyway, no, I haven't finished my thought.
Oh,
Foxes amongst like cherry blossoms and things like that just seems like the most peaceful thing. I've seen so many photos of just like foxes sitting under cherry blossom
That's
trees
vibing.
and things like that. It's such a vibe. It gives you that just like soft, like the gentle breeze blowing. You're just like relax.
oh, you should play Ghost of Tsushima.
Ghosts
What
of
is that?
Tsushima.
It's a video game. It's set on Tsushima Island during the Mongol invasion of the 13th century.
Do you
It's
pet
fantastic.
foxes?
Hey?
Do you pet foxes?
Yeah,
Pet foxes.
yeah. You like follow the wind to your
Foxan.
objectives, and sometimes foxes will appear, and they'll lead you to shrines where you can pray to get. I think it's some kind of upgrade, but yeah. And then once you're there and you've prayed at the shrine, you can turn around and pet the fox if it doesn't disappear. Because sometimes they disappear because they just do. But if you pet the fox,
What is
it's
it
all
like
happy,
Mushu?
and then it like jumps away. It's
Just-
it's so cute.
Fox.
Yeah,
It's
amazing. Just, yeah. I'll find a video for you.
I finally remembered what fox in Japanese was. That's great.
Kitsune.
Kitsune.
Yeah.
Kitsune.
I do like okami though,
Arigato.
that's wolf, which is pretty cool sounding.
Ooh, okami.
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 What was I up to? Ninigi no Mikoto, commonly called Ninigi. He was the grandson of Amaterasu. His great grandson was Kan Yamato Iwaribiku.
I
Later
love the
known
accent
job,
he puts
good
in.
job.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
I kind of have to put it on to do it
Yeah.
close
Yeah.
enough.
I was just like it kept going, and
Yeah.
you didn't stumble. I was like, impressive.
Yeah.
More so than my English.
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah, that man, later known as Emperor Jimmu, the first emperor of Japan. Interesting. enough.
Ooh. Was he a dove?
Another descendant of a deity, of course, in
Yes.
the imperial family.
Was he a dove?
The first
I
emperor,
don't fucking
a
know.
lesser known Tom Cruise property.
What? Tom Cruise? What?
Last Samurai.
That's
Oh,
insane.
okay.
Okini Nushi, a
Okini
god of
Nushi.
nation building, farming, business, and medicine. I've got Omokane, the deity of wisdom and intelligence, who is always called
That's not
upon,
me.
always called upon to ponder and give good counsel in the deliberations of the heavenly deities.
I'm
I like
thinking.
a good
I'm
ponder.
thinking.
I
Occasionally.
shall ponder.
What? It's just Winnie the Pooh. He's like, think,
Yeah.
He's thinking.
Yeah, you never just ponder
just-
something.
It's like,
that dirty is just a Japanese version of Winnie the Pooh. I've decided.
Was that?
I said that dirty is now just like the visual representation is just like a ghost Winnie the Pooh. Just like
Oh boy, let's not talk about Winnie the Pooh. We'll get banned in China.
oh no. Chairman Mao.
Not even that. It's Xi Jinping.
I'm pretty sure Mao is the same for cat in Chinese.
I think
Mao.
So it's kind of funny.
Oh,
Chairman cat.
Chairman Meow has been a joke for ages.
Honestly,
Yes,
haven't heard it.
Mao.
Well, we got Raijin, is the god of thunder and lightning, and
no,
is
that's
often
Thor.
It's like thunder
and is often paired with
and
Fujin,
lightning.
as with the latter Raijin is usually depicted as an oni, apparently as well.
Oni being demon, yes?
Yeah, they're like demon ogre looking
Kinda.
ass things.
Oni.
Yeah.
It's always the red mask with the horns. And, yeah,
And fangs.
or it
and
usually is. We got
sometimes
Ryujin.
moustaches.
Some versions consider him an
I thought you said
Owatasumi.
cinnamon.
Cinnamon.
Consider him.
Cinnabon.
Owatasumi as the same god.
Cinnamon
He is
bun
a
and
dragon.
cinnamon roll.
He is a dragon,
So is Mushu.
as well as the god of the sea. Mushu.
Sun on you.
You
Sun
got-
on your cow.
Shut up. You've got Sujin. Why am I going like mixing it.
Some
Sujin,
pocket size.
the god of water. Nothing on him
You need to
or
stop.
her. I don't know why.
He's trying his best.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up. You got Susanoo no Mikoto, is a god of storms as well as the ruler of the sea in some cases. He is also somewhat of a trickster god, as Japanese mythology extensively documents the sibling rivalry between him and Amaterasu. Susanoo was also responsible for the slaying of the monster Yamato no Orochi and the subsequent discovery of the sacred sword Kusanagi. So he's got a he's pretty big in the mythology.
I knew a couple of words.
Yeah.
He vibes.
He's got a pretty big
Sword.
no, I was gonna say like CV, like resume, like his.
Yeah, yeah.
I was curious as to where that was going.
It's cursed. And the last one I put down is one of the major kami is Tsukuyomi no Mikoto. Is the god of the moon. He killed Ukemochi out of disgust and anger in the way she had prepared a meal. This caused Amaterasu never to face him again, causing the sun and moon to be in different parts of the sky.
Yeah, is he
So-
the, is he
so
the
I
god
think-
of 50s values? Like,
I don't fucking know. I think Ukemochi was Amaterasu's
What? So you're saying the sun
sibling?
and you said the sun and moon used to be together, and now they're
Yep.
not.
Apparently so. Apparently that's how it went. Yeah, because I think Tsukuyomi is a male
Well, now we have 90
deity.
days, so it's alright.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Even
that's
though I think they're siblings.
that's a fairly common story in mythology.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was all the major kami. There's a bunch of them, although not as much as some other things. Like, what is a lot of deities? Buddhism?
I don't
Is it
know.
Buddhism? Hindu. That's what I mean. Hindu has a
But
shitload,
there's
doesn't
like conceptually, there's like thousands of kami.
it? Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of just whatever. I mean,
Like minor
ancestral kami.
yeah, like everyday objects will be anthropomorphized
Yeah.
to have like a kami associated.
That's
with
kind of just how it is. I think the only
Yeah.
ones that are listed are ones that have like actual mythology to them.
them. Yeah.
So it's like and the
Okay.
last thing we'll go on to is
It's probably a toaster kami.
Shinto rolls. So first of all we got the Shinto priests are known in Japanese as kanoshi, meaning proprietor of kami, or alternatively as shinshoku or shinkan. To this day, some shrines still have hereditary succession of priesthood, however the majority don't. Most of the time, priests will train at two main universities to be qualified as a Shinto priest. So I think one of those was in Tokyo, and the other one, I don't know where it was. I think it was in a different prefecture.
With the ancestral thing, is that also kind of once
What
again
are
going
they?
back to Milan, like where they have like the ghosty goos?
The ghosty goose,
Yeah.
the ghost urns or
spirits,
something,
yes.
Yeah,
the vibe in
yeah.
the tower, yeah.
Yeah. Do they become those sorts of people, or is that just completely separate?
What do you mean, like ancestral kami?
Yeah. Is that
I guess it's a similar concept. That's why it would have been like an influence from China.
what is Mushu? He says that he's like a spirit guide.
Yeah, he's a tutelary kami. He's a guardian kami of the ancestors.
There you go,
Of that
see?
house.
I've not
It's
seen-
it's
I've
such a
not s-
something.
I've not seen Milan in
Yeah.
so long.
Oh, I thought you were just gonna say
It's-
I haven't
it's
seen
qu-
Milan.
It's
I was
quite
like,
a
I've not
it's
seen
quite a
it.
similar thing. Obviously, Mulan is Chinese, but
Yeah, I know,
obviously
but, like-
yeah, it's kind of the same thing. There's,
Yeah.
there's a lot of interlap,
Overlap?
overlap, interlap.
Interplay.
Yeah.
I
So
was thinking
there's
interlocking.
the chief priest at a shrine, known as the guji, and sometimes a gonguji, an assistant head priest, will be present. This generally only happens at large shrines, as even priests may have to attend to multiple shrines instead of one. So often that happens in like countryside, it seems, where like they've just got a shitload of tiny shrines.
Yeah.
The priest is like, oh fuck, I gotta go to like these 12 different shrines to do rites. It's like, oh. And then, like, obviously, bigger cities will have huge ones. Like, I think Kyoto is pretty big.
Have you seen
on
Your
shrines.
Name?
Yes.
Movie.
It's been a while.
There's this like thing where they do this like dance.
The Kagura dance?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does
It's one of the rites performed by shrine maidens.
Mm.
Or the... priests are also assisted by... Jinja Miko, or
Okay.
more commonly known as Miko, which are shrine maidens. I was about
Oh,
to
there
get
you
onto that. So,
Isn't her name literally like? What's it? It's
I don't know.
Similar to that.
Many Miko, however, aren't fully set in their roles, as they will often be university or high school students. They're just making some money on the side. But also
Right.
increasing social respect, as the role of Miko is quite respected in Japanese society. So,
Fair enough.
yeah. I mean, you see it all the time in fucking anime. It's like the council president or something, council leader, whatever the fuck they call it, is always like a shrine maiden. I swear to God. Because they're like, because they I think, from what I remember, they also learn cooking, of course, calligraphy, painting, and etiquette. So they actually learn things while they're there. But
Yeah.
it's more like a refined role kind of thing.
Slight sidetracked. You know, my mum used to do that in high school. Like, she took a course. Well, like, you know, like how weird like modules and classes and things like that. One of theirs was literally like typing and home
Yeah, sounds about right.
etiquette and things like that. And I'm just like, bruh.
Our dad
I
took
wish.
calligraphy, I think.
Yeah,
If I remember. Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Mum has a calligraphy set, though she's never opened it, and I've wanted to open it, but she's like, it's my set, and I was like,
It's
okay,
mine.
cool.
Yeah,
Oh,
calligraphy's
jeez.
cool. So,
Yeah.
and it's a little odd with present Shinto because, like, most of the Shinto priests are male.
Mm.
There are female Shinto priests because during World War II, obviously, a lot of the males were enlisted,
Yeah.
even the priests.
You can't kill me, I'm a priest.
Yeah, pretty much. So there was a lot more female priests during that time, and there still is, obviously, but obviously they don't get as many chances, and the shrine maidens are always female, obviously, because, you know, maidens.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any. I wouldn't know if there are any male shrine maidens. I'd be very surprised.
Probably not, because it's probably like a cultural thing.
Yeah, it'd be a cultural thing. I would doubt it heavily.
They
but
like
yeah.
chew rice and spit it out and wait for it to ferment.
Yeah, so
Why did Pokemon change the rice balls to jelly donuts in the dub?
what?
No idea.
No, do you not know about that?
No.
Like in the original Pokemon anime, there's an episode where they're eating rice balls with like the seaweed wrapper and all that, and then in the American dub, they changed it to be jelly donuts.
Why?
Yeah.
It's just
I don't know.
rice. It's not that scary.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Man.
You can
Dumb.
eat rice.
You said
Why?
rice, and it just
Yeah,
jogged
triggered,
that
yeah.
memory out of,
Yeah.
out of my brain. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't know
So
why.
I think the Kagura dance is a pretty important ritual, and only the shrine maidens perform it, and then pretty much the priest overview all the other rituals. I didn't actually write that down because I've honestly we're far enough in as it is. There is a bunch.
Yeah.
There is a bunch of other stuff, and I could have gone through specific rites and rituals, but honestly, I think that was enough.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty good. Yeah.
I feel like with every topic that actually has any sort of actual information with it, you could either talk about it for like 10 minutes and give a brief overview, or you could talk about it for like 10 days. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Just do
I
a four-part series
thought
on
just
Yeah.
going over the history mainly.
Yeah.
would be better.
Yeah.
History.
Cool.
History.
I actually did research
Yeah, you did.
for once. It was actually
job.
successful,
Yeah.
Good job.
somewhat, because I didn't do it all the day before.
Yeah. I'm proud of you.
Oh God, I'm just tired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your thing? You're just like, I'm just tired.
That was it. That was it. That's all I'm giving you on Shinto. That's all I'm
Nice.
giving you. I thought that was
Shinto.
acceptable.
It
Nice.
is, but you could have given us like a proper ending instead of just like, yeah, well, that do be
Yes,
it though.
Shinto. It's something.
It do be like
It
that
vibe.
sometimes.
Looking right at the camera.
Do you want to give us like a ending summary, like Shinto?
Shinto, kind of a good vibe nowadays. World War II, World War One, not so much. They were kind of cunts. Before that, yeah, a bit more worshipy, but yeah.
We good now?
That
cultural thing.
was my summary of
Sick.
Shinto. For fuck's sake. Yeah. So that was the podcast. If you like what you've seen,
Do you like our new setup? I like our new setup. I'm actually way more comfortable like this because now, like when you were sitting there and I was facing forward, like it was really hard to try and have a conversation with both of you because
Oh, but
Lee
yeah.
was always like at a 90-degree
yeah,
angle to
Yeah.
me. Whereas now I can
Probably
just
better.
like chat to you
Yeah.
guys like this.
This is good.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to God that I can fix the audio this time because
yeah.
I'm recording the mics on three separate tracks, which means I'll be able to compress them properly, I believe. That should reduce echo. Maybe your dumb voice is going to keep echoing.
I'm the
I don't know
only
why
one
it's
who
you.
echoes.
It's only
yeah.
you. Oh well, sometimes it happens, but it's mostly you.
Yeah. I just
Or like your echo just overlaps
just me.
everybody else's echo.
yeah, pretty
It's
much.
that loud. It's like But
But
anyway,
we've turned me like way down this time, so hopefully it's all good.
yeah, mine's also
Should
pretty
help.
low as well. So
Yeah, and I wasn't
'cause
as
I can
loud
turn
this
up
time.
my gain.
Yeah.
Should be good. Yeah.
All right.
Lee, you're next.
Yeah.
Why do you sound so
Yeah.
depressed?
It's been a time.
Vibing.
It's been a time.
Work. Yeah.
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 Just do like
I'll
an
be good.
easy, fun episode.
I've already done that.
What do you mean you've already done
I'll
it?
do it. Well, we did vampires last
Vampire.
time. And it's like, I'll find something. I'll figure something out.
No, but just like
Maybe something
a
good.
kind of like a shit take episode, like what I did last time.
I don't think he's that kind of person.
Honestly, yeah.
It's not my thing.
Not my fun.
I love my episodes. Like I've become
It's a nice reprieve.
yeah, yeah. I've become just like the comedic relief.
Yeah.
Comedic relief.
every thing needs a comedic relief.
Mm.
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I still
Yeah.
feel like last week was a good episode, even though it was
Yeah.
just. Will you press the button?
Yeah.
Just a bunch of shit talk. It was good.
Yeah, yeah. It's good to just.
If you've liked what you've seen, then like and subscribe. I've actually linked Twitter, Instagram, and proper Spotify. I'm going to be uploading
Yeah.
the episodes properly to
Sick.
Spotify now
Finally.
because I actually have money and I can afford an RSS feed.
yeah.
Yeah, so those will be up on Spotify properly, and
Woohoo.
we should have some stuff up on Twitter maybe.
Yeah,
Instagram,
I'm
maybe.
I'm getting to Instagram.
Do
I'm
the statue on Instagram, thanks, and Twitter.
yeah, sick.
Yeah.
I'll be uploading clips. I've got 10 days left of my 100 days of makeup on Instagram, which has been taking up most of my time. So after those 10 days, I reckon I'll have time to be able to actually make clips and things like that.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah, considering I have to like download the episode from YouTube because I don't have the raw files. Unless you can send the not the raw file, but like the exported file to me.
Yeah. When this episode comes out, you'll have like 5 days left, something like that.
Left?
Yes.
What do you mean 5 days left?
Well, 'cause
Oh,
I'll
of
upload
my
on the
makeup.
Friday.
What do you?
I thought you meant 5 days left to download it, and I was like, it's not going to
No.
disappear. But yeah, pretty much. So I'll be almost there, so it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm almost there.
All right.
Okay.
Follow us, ZeroFunction Pod, on Twitter and Instagram.
Mhm.
Yep. Do
Yep.
all that good stuff.
Yep.
Like, subscribe, ring the
It'll be in
bell.
the link for YouTube, so you'll be good on that.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
go into the description. You know, subscribe. We're getting good.
all
I
the
reckon.
all the
Yeah.
obligatory
Sayings, things, links.
what's
Whatever.
the algorithm stuff. Yeah,
Algorithm go. brrr.
that's the word.
Okay.
Right.
Peace.
Bye.
So yeah.